ask you not to leave the auditorium during the ceremony. Thank you very much. Please stand up. I would like to warmly welcome the graduates and their families, professors and lecturers of Kozminski University. And at this point, I would like to ask Director of Kozminski University, Professor Witold Bielecki, to address the graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a difficult situation for me because I don't know if I'm talking to students or to alumni, because you are playing both of this role now. But I would like to add something to the words of welcome. I would like to welcome to Her Excellency Patricia Beatriz Salas, Ambassador of Argentina. Is she here? She promised to be. Oh. Please do not afraid. I'm going to welcome to only two persons by name. The second person is Professor Martin Kornmeier, the director of double degree program at DHBW Mannheim. I saw him. Yes, he's. And also some representatives from Citibank. The Citibank is a partner of one of our flagship program. It's a management in a virtual environment. I tell you, because it's, I thought what I should say today, for you it's a red letter day. For me, nothing special. We got it's a fifth graduation this year, this autumn now, you can say. So, and I would like to tell you such story. A few years ago, I was traveling abroad, and I've met my student, former student, of course. He was a member of my diploma seminar, so he remembered me very well. And we started to talk how, as normal in such situation, he was starting to describe his history after graduation. And he said that now he has a very good job, a very good position in the international corporate outside of Poland. And I asked him how does it happen, and he said that in the first interview, the human resources manager who did this interview asked him look at the records and say, well, nice. So it means that you know nothing after with such diploma, after such school. What he had in his mind, he said that it means that you have a very good background. So it means it will be very easy to adapt you to our needs, adapt by some training, some courses, etc. So, and I think that you are in the same situation, that you've got very good background, even if someone tells you that you know nothing, which is probably true. In some cases, of course, in some cases. I think, because remember, Kozminski is not a vocational school. It's we are on the academic level. We try to teach you some concept regarding and some theories regarding management. And remember that it's not end of your studying. It's not end of your learning. You heard about the long life learning concept, which is very popular now. And if you want to, you have to develop all time. And my suggestion is that every day try to do some balance of the day, and at night, but at evening, late evening, try to ask you what I learned today new, what I saw new, what I heard new. If the answer will be negative, so that I didn't learn nothing, I didn't learn something, it means that you should immediately, before you go to the bed, try to read something, to take a book, to take a periodics, professional periodics, and try to read something to extend your knowledge. Every day, every day. This is my piece of advice for you. The next piece of advice I would like to tell you now, it's be creative. Try to use your knowledge from different disciplines. For instance, create the fashion of the management, finance, marketing. There is no eternal and irrefutable truths. There were times when everybody were convinced the globe was flat. Have you heard about Porter's 5P? It was obligatory in your courses. But now this model was extended up to the 9 Ps. If you don't know about this is a first step you should to do after the graduation ceremony. When you move back to home, try to discover what is the distinction between these 5 Ps and these 9 Ps. Have you heard about the turquoise organization, for instance? If not, you have to opportunity to extend your knowledge in this topic also. Think strategically. This is my favorite, maybe another word. My favorite case which prove this suggestion is that it's a driver who is standing in the crossroad, and he observed the traffic lights, and when he sees green, he starts and run, and suddenly in the middle of the crossroad he sees that there is no room behind the crossroad for him and his car. It's his car. So he stopped, stressed and panic, and it could be avoided if he thought in advance 3-4 steps forward. So it's very easy to be in a much better situation if you try to think wider than only just be in front of you to your nose. Have you heard about the black swan This is a phenomena which was developed by Nissan Taleb. Taleb is an outstanding mathematician, and he called the phenomenon of very low probability of occurrence, what means that are considered unpredictable, but also have enormous negative consequences. But ex post, their occurrence can easily be explained and considered to be inevitable. In nature, black swan we can meet very seldom. We can, but it's very seldom. So an example of such black swan, we can say that, for instance, Trump's win is not a black swan, because there was some probability that he can win. But the attack on the World Trade Center already saw. The same, if you heard a few years ago about the Fukushima disaster by tsunami. Even it was the nuclear electric power station which was built according to the update technical knowledge. So it should be resistant against earthquake, tornadoes, and some other catastrophes. Why? Because there was no, so far, such big tsunami in Japan, such powerful. So they analyze historical records, and they say, and they built that was this construction was resistant for tsunami, but not so big and so powerful. But Talib say, because the problem is, can we protect against such black swan? And Taleb give us an answer. Yes, you have to be anti-fragile. Have you heard about this concept? It's very interesting. I give you an example. A duel of David with Goliath. Goliath was very powerful, armed with shield, with sword, and he was ready to fight with the men the same size as he and the same arm as he was. David is small, but flexible and agile. So it means that, and he used a weapon, and which Goliath unexpected. So this is also a suggestion for us. If you want to fight, you have to use some unexpected weapon. And finally, I would like to say that noblesse oblige, as French people say. So it doesn't mean, it means that you will be estimated. Your behavior, your knowledge, your critical thinking, all these things will be by people around you. It's normal. It's normal. Well, this is a guy who graduated from Kozminski University. So let's look how does he behave, what his knowledge is, and so on. So, in my opinion, I would like to tell you that do not have a complexes. Such a consulting company, a public consulting group from United States, who started working also on our market, they made some research, and they made research for all economic and business schools in Poland, including our. And as you know, generally, our students, they've got a lower score on the high school certificate called Matura than the people who are going and starting to study in public universities, because they can start free of charge. So this is very smart behavior. But the conclusion of this public consulting group was that the level of our alumni, people who are graduated from Kozminski University, of the level of knowledge, of skills, of competences is on the same, is the same or even higher than the people who are graduate from economic public schools. So please remember about this. And finally, I would like to invite you in 2018. In 2018, we've got 25th anniversary of our school, and we plan to celebrate this anniversary whole year. So it means that it will be many seminars, workshops, conferences, and so on. So probably, if you will follow and you are, please watch to our website. We will announce in advance all these events. So please choose something for you. It will be opportunity to visit school and also to meet your colleagues who live in the different places in the world. So I wish you many opportunities of effective use of knowledge, skills and competencies that you taking over from Kozminski University. And I hope that somewhere once you will be able to say it was worth to study at Kozminski University. Thank you.
I would like to ask the Dean of Kozminski International Business School, Dr. Svetlana Gutkova, to address the graduates.
It works. Dear rectors, dear graduates, dear guests, we gather here to celebrate. We gather here to share this special moment of awarding Kozminski University diploma. I see all your faces and I see the different way of coming to this day. I see a lot, when I look at your smiling, happy faces today, I see different stories behind those faces. I see spectacular successes, but at the same time, I see different kind of difficulties, tremendous effort to put in preparation for the classes and preparation for the master exam and master thesis as well. You benefited from completely different options which Kozminski University offered to you. Of course, some of you benefit from exchange programs. I see the faces of the students who benefited from the double degree programs and now completing the studies. They have double degrees, internship, different kind of lectures of the distinguished person here. You benefited a lot, and that's why you are all different, you are all unique, but you all are fully prepared to take a challenge of the modern world. I would like to congratulate you. I would like to congratulate your parents. I would like to congratulate your families. I would like to congratulate all of you who supports our graduates and their road to this final day, the graduation ceremony of 2016. Dear graduates, today you are leaving our walls more experienced, equipped with professional knowledge and skills, and what is the most important, having this tremendous courage to act, which is typical for Kozminski University students. And I really like that, we really value that. You have this crazy courage to act. You believe that everything is possible. And I would like to wish you to keep this courage and to make a use of this courage as better as possible. Please remember that you belong to Kozminski University community. And there are a couple of meaning of that. There are a couple of responsibilities. First of all, the value of your diplomas now is in your hand. Those are your successes, your stories, your biographies, which are going to be studied in order to see and in order to judge the academic excellence of Kozminski University. And we would like to be proud of you even more that we are proud of you today. And I hope that someday you will come back to Kozminski University. You'll come back with your knowledge, with your experience, And you are going to inspire the alumni and other students maybe to follow your footsteps, to see your careers as ambitious, as spectacular, and I wish from the deep of my heart to you to let your dream come true. Dear graduates, please accept my congratulations and the warmest wishes. Have a courage to act, courage to follow your passion, and the most ambitious plan. Let them all come true. Good luck to you guys. Thank you.
A crucial part of a graduation ceremony is a graduation lecture. And the good thing about such a lecture is that there is no examination afterwards. Okay. This year we'll have an honor to have a lecture delivered by Dr. Krzysztof Przybyszewski, who will deliver a lecture titled Creativity, a Lifelong Learning. Krzysztof?
Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, proud parents, my students and students of other guys. It gives me an enormous pleasure and honor to give you possibly, well, the first lecture of the new chapter of your life. Whoops, I did it again. I don't think it should be the last lecture in your life. It should be the first lecture of your future. The topic I want to talk about is creativity. In business, it's rather called innovativeness, and it's, you know, the modern fetish, I would say. And the first question is, what is really the topic? What is the meaning of this beautiful world? I think I can give you a simple example. Creativity is in strange ways, unpredictable ways of solving simple problems. This is the case of a marketing company that tried to advertise two ideas. One was Merry Christmas to the clients, and the other was We Cut Metals. Because the company, Reynolds, I think is the name, is the company that simply uses some CNC laser cutting tools for doing stuff. And just take a look. They came up with this wonderful idea. You have a credit card sized piece of metal, some kind of aluminum alloy, I presume, which when you push it from below, it turns into a tiny Christmas tree. That's the way people may solve problems. You can say straightforward, Merry Christmas, we cut metals. But you can also do this. If you want to discourage people from smoking cigarettes, you may talk about lung cancer, bad breath and stuff like that. But you can also go for this. Just try to take a look at this photograph. Someone had this wonderful idea to associate the really bad smell of diesel engine and the bad breath of the people. And he came up with, or she perhaps, came up with the idea of new media. It's some kind of a new ambient media used for this once, because you cannot convert it into anything else, right? The exhaust pipe is the exhaust pipe and it cannot be changed in anything else. So, what is the story behind? And I think we can start from some theories. Right, it's the academy. Academy is the place, by the way, where we share some conservative taste for fashion mixed with creative thinking, which is kind of paradoxical. And, well, theoretically speaking, creativity may be understood as anything that creative people, a creator, does. So we can focus on some psychological traits of those people. And we think that this is about madness and brilliant minds. But this is not true. Those theories were rejected. Then, maybe the product is what we are talking about. So the new things, the things that had never been seen on Earth. But you know that internet was actually invented in the Victorian era. It was composed of a huge bunch of people using telegraph. And it was like the internet because there was no central computer, no central processor, and if any line was cut, you could do the detour, right? Using different people in different places. Now, the only change is that we use probably a bit more advanced technology to achieve the same goals. So maybe not the product. And my statement is that it's a process. Certain features of a certain process, and it's the process of transforming old ideas into something new. And this process is actually, well, something you can learn. When you look at those creator theories, you see Albert Einstein fashioned people with bad haircuts. That's not true. It's some kind of, I would say, personal branding of some inventors. If they are a bit more, well, eccentric, their ideas sell. But do they really need to be that eccentric? I don't think so. So let's go to those theories, product approach. They are rational and sensible to some extent because, okay, you say that it's a new idea, new product, new object, created from nothing. And it is defined actually by the product. Something must be at the end of the process. Then it must be new. And it must be used for something. And it's, you know that the selfie stick was invented in 1973. It was for Polaroids. You know, those instant cameras, popular when I was young. And there was no real use for them. This was invented, patented, and put on the shelf because the cultural context of today's era requires us to be a bit more narcissistic, and you need to take selfies for your Instagram account. And the old invention was taken off the shelf and reutilized. So there is some truth in it, but you cannot learn it. You can try really hard to create new things, but I don't think it works. So we should concentrate on the way how people do that. So, well, you can mix architecture and biology. That's Le Corbusier organic housing. You can mix, I've seen it, by the way, I could touch it. It's really the picture that changes its color when the humidity of air changes. There are chemical reactions going back and forth. So it's sometimes pale, sometimes very vivid. When you mix paint with some strange chemicals, you arrive at such results. But what is the process? When we go back, you need to know something about the nature, about the mushrooms, the plants and animals. And then you need to know something about architecture. Otherwise, you cannot come up with such an idea. If you go for this, you must be a chemist or a physicist, and at the same time a painter. You need to, you know, grasp the idea of the optics and chemistry and beauty at the same time. Otherwise, you'll be unable to come up with this wonderful idea. So what is going on? The creative process is composed of many stages. I will sort of concentrate on three first, because the evaluation is the testing of the final product, and the elaboration is, all right, when you have to change it completely because you need to find a market for it. But the creative thinking is composed of the first part, which is called the preparation phase. In this phase, you collect knowledge. You collect knowledge, nothing but this. And then there is the incubation. You need to have a goal. the goal in your life. You need to prove something, to show something, to change something. You need a certain motivation. And then, the insight is the phase when the solution comes up. But just take a look. At the age of 3, every one of us tried to figure out how the alarm clock of our parents operates, usually with a hammer. And then, if you learn more and more about time, the concept of time, you do the same, being Stephen Hawking. He simply dismantles the structure of time instead of dismantling his parents' alarm clock. The process is the same. The level of knowledge is, well, slightly different. So, what to do to be creative throughout your life? Well, let's try to figure out how this works. You need some basic knowledge, and it's a wonderful example of advertising. I show you mostly adverts because it's something quite visually attractive. Again, if you try to recreate a process to come up with these, you need to know that Sydney is the place where the opera house is composed of turtle-shaped parts which are moving. And then you need to know that some people call the Big Apple the New York, right, a place in the States. And if you think about the shape of the opera house in Sydney, and you think about the Big Apple, you may come up with these. But you need some basic knowledge, right, to arrive at this solution. If you take a look at this one, which is lovely, I envy these guys. Someone who was able to come up with should be killed. You need to know a couple of things. First of all, you need to know the shape of the keys on the keyboard and find the same shape in the lids of the jars of face cream. Then you need to know that in DOS operating system, Control plus Z means reverse. So turn back the last operation. And then you need to know that aging and wrinkles and the changes in your face are because of time. And then you are thinking about reversing time. And you are thinking about different concepts of showing how to reverse. And you come up with this one. And it's beautiful, simple, and I would say it kills everyone. I really envy people who are capable of inventing such things. And how it is possible. And here it goes. If you want to boost your creativity, it's not about, drugs, loafing, bad haircuts and stuff like that. It is about, well, collecting knowledge. You need to know that all the inventors, even if you think that they were simply brave amateurs, like Tesla, who had no formal education, they knew all ins and outs of the industry. It's a huge, not formalized, but huge knowledge on the issue. Then artists, if you start playing the guitar, which is kind of a popular thing among the youngsters, what you start with? Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple, right? The first riff you ever play. And then you copy it hundreds and hundreds of times before you understand the idea. Then, if you want to be a scientist, you need to read everything there is to be read. And you read and you read and you read and you read. And then your knowledge becomes huge. And this is the moment when you go from dismantling your parents' alarm clock to the dismantling the structure of the universe, hopefully. And then the next thing is you must question all the previous knowledge. You must be dissatisfied. You must hate ugly theories. There are people who hate ugly theories. There is one I hate. And I'm going to do something about it. You want to fix some machines which are faulty, at least to your mind. And then There are, you know, life problems you want to solve. If you are dissatisfied and you know why your dissatisfaction appears, you may, well, look for the solution. But remember, you are the managers to be. Creativity is not for money. It is autotelic. It is just for the joy of solving the problems. So it must be outside of emergency and requirement. There are some legends about totalitarian regimes keeping the scientists in captivity and forcing them to invent, you know, AK-47 or some other pieces of weaponry. That's not true. Even in the Soviet Russia, there were enclaves of freedom for those scientists, special cities with better shops, and some personal freedom for those people to simply think freely. That's so strange, but you need to do nothing, to be lazy, to spend some time on loafing. But before that, you need to learn and learn and learn and learn a lot. And then, if you want to stimulate the process, okay, there is no good way of doing that apart from, again, I will repeat it again and again and again, personal freedom, free time, and free mind. If you can do this, the associations come up. If you try to solve the problems using the formal rules, you know, there will be no success. Why? Because creativity is going beyond those rules. That's why some of the creators were eccentric and crazy. Because going beyond the rules may be a habit. And if it becomes habitual, these people look like Albert Einstein. But what is an important thing here? You should never stop learning. And it's not just the advertising of the studies at Kozminski University. It's a constant learning story, because if you take a look at those famous ideas and famous inventions, the things that created our world, they are quite frequently the result of the cross-fertilization of different branches of knowledge. That's so odd, but you know that the structure of DNA was actually discovered by accident, thanks to some German pilots who put some bombs on a swimming pool where one of those guys was to write his PhD thesis on mechanics of liquids. And it was impossible because there was no water in the leaking pool, so he was just reading about the mechanics of liquids and the mechanics of different substances. And he, as the legend has it, overheard the discussion about the DNA. The biologists and chemists knew the chemical properties, but they couldn't figure out the shape of the particle, which is a, you know, double helix. And for this guy, he simply overheard the story. For this guy, it was absolutely, totally obvious that such chemical and physical properties are just because of this shape. So he simply said double helix. Done. And it's the secret of life. If there was no meeting of the, physicists dealing with the mechanics of liquids, which is something strange. I don't even understand what lies behind this name. And people dealing with DNA, their secret will not be solved, or maybe would be solved in hundreds of years. And that's what you should focus on. You know, in arts, sometimes using the mental structures from one branch of knowledge may develop something new in the other branch. There is a famous guy, he actually passed away like 3 years ago. His name was Freddy Gruber. He was called by some people Drum Yoda, like Master Yoda of Star Wars. He was a drummer, a jazz drummer, the guy who invented double bass drums to be used. Heavy metal is about it, you know, when the guys are using their feet to make it sound, right? Freddy Gruber invented it, but he became finally a master for many other drummers. And you know, he gave lessons without drums. Without drums. The lessons were about dancing. Because actually drumming is not when you hit. It's between the hits. So it's like dancing. When you want to learn how to improvise, play any kind of instrument and improvise. If you try to use structures, scales, mathematics, frequencies, stuff like that, you will not be successful. But if you think that it's like the language, and each sound is a letter, each lick, so a couple of sounds put in order, is the words, and the set of licks is the sentence, and you try to make sentences instead of sounds, you may vastly improve your skills within 15 minutes. I know what I'm saying because I met my guitar Yoda, who simply told me, try to speak instead of making noises. And it was 15 minutes and helped a lot. It's the cross-fertilization between the different and sometimes very odd and strange branches of knowledge, like chemistry and arts. And, well, this is the last part, when the critical mass of knowledge is huge. And when you know the ways, the ideas from different branches of knowledge, you know, the light bulb may appear. Otherwise, it is impossible. Otherwise, you do what? You do, I will skip those, you do these. There is a wonderful psychological theory on creativity, and this is my piece of advice for you. There is mini C, the smallest possible C. It's the creativity of children. It's like figuring out how the things operate, and some people stay at this level. All right, that's very nice, but this may just keep you in the world of simple minds. Then you may do some tinkering. Tinkering is like dismantling things, to learn how those things work, and you arrive at little c. Little c is, you know, if you want to paint a wall and your brush breaks down, you may fix it using, I don't know, some pieces of home equipment, right? This is little c. And then it may be the end of the story again. So you're a moderately creative person that achieves nothing, but solves some real-life problems. But then to go one step beyond to something which is called Pro-C, which is the professional creativity, you need to do what? Take a look at this slide. It's either informal or formal apprenticeship, which means learning and learning and studying and learning. And either getting some formal education or trying to grab the same knowledge from repeating somebody else's actions. But anyway, Pro-C is the level we should be satisfied with. Some of us grab more and more and more knowledge, and they still retain this childlike curiosity, and they may achieve some level which is probably limited to 5% of the population, which is called the big C. is when you invent something that really makes a difference. And as you can see, the only thing you can do, the only thing you've got some control over is learning and learning and learning and learning. And how to do that? These are some pieces of advice for you. Constant learning. But constant learning is not collecting more and more pieces of knowledge in the old structure. It's restructuring your experience. It is learning on your failures and restructuring your knowledge, changing everything from time to time. Drum Yoda was the guy who changed the drumming style of many people, celebrated world masters. Try to read about Neil Peart of Rush, who was considered the master of masters. And he did what? He decided to restructure his knowledge. He went to the Drum Yoda and started all over again from the scratch. These are those people who achieve something. They create new things. When you can say, all right, everything I know sucks, I need to start over again and restructure your knowledge. That's it. And then, how to do that? In practice. Whenever something strikes the spark of your interest, follow it to the end. To the end, not just superficially. Try to chase, those threads, because they may lead you to enormous success. Also failures, yeah, I'm pretty certain of it, but sometimes you succeed. And then try to be surprised and try to surprise people. Try not to live in the predictable world, right? Try to be funny, try to be witty, try to use your mind not just for following rules, but also for going beyond. And, still remember, creativity is not for survival. Its basic function was not survival. Biologically speaking, we are creative not to survive. We are creative because we are creative. It's autotelic. It gives you pleasure when you invent something, and this should be the right motivation. Then you may sell the product, of course, at high price. But it should be invented for fun. And then, the last thing, aim at complexity. There are no simple things. World is a complex place. And if you are aware of it, you learn. If you try to neglect it, you simply create your beliefs. And that's some difference, right? And then try to look at any problem from as many viewpoints as possible. And this environment, people from different countries and different places, different walks of life and different cultures, is the example of such situation when you may try to change the understanding of things you know every day. And then, I think it's the end. So thank you very much, and try to beat this.
The time has come to start the most significant part of the ceremony, and that is, of course, the diploma awarding. We would like to begin with the Rector's Award for the best master dissertation, and that award will be granted to a graduate from Master in Management program, specialization Management in Virtual Environment, Mr. Filip Grudzewski. Mr. Grudzewski prepared his dissertation under the supervision of Dr. Marcin Awdziej, and the dissertation was titled Virtual Reality as an Integrated Marketing Communication Mean. Now we will continue with the diplomas with distinction, and we start with the master programs. Master in Management, again, Management in Virtual Environment, Ms. Paulina Pidek. Ms. Wendy Redondo Hernandez. Now we continue with the Master in Management program, full-time, Ms. Anna Górska. Ms. Agnieszka Kalicka. Mr. Kamil Kuklis. Ms. Paulina Sierakowska. Now we continue with the diplomas with distinction for the Master in Management part-time program, Ms. Leticia Mañez. Now we continue with the diplomas with distinction, graduates from the Master in Finance and Accounting program, Mr. Władysław Golinka. Mr. Hakon Ingebrektsen. Ms. Petra Pawłowski. Mr. Bogdan Jaremko. Now we continue with the diplomas with distinction Bachelor in Management program, Ms. Ksenia Dowguj. Ms. Hanna Glazunowa. Ms. Aleksandra Irżewska. Mr. Matthias Kadnar. Mr. Maksym Kamiński. Mr. Paweł Samoszuk. Ms. Weronika Cichanienka. Now we continue with diplomas with distinction, a Bachelor in Finance and Accounting, Ms. Mariana Grudzińska. Ms. Aleksandra Stowpowa. Now the rest of the diplomas will be presented, and we start with the master programs. The first program is the program conducted in cooperation with the University of Bradford. Ms. Olga Fitzyk. Ms. Weronika Krzyżanowska. Ms. Iryna Leti. Mr. Manoj Madhavan Kuti. Ms. Vasudha Sharma. Mr. Ivan Telichkun. Ms. Wiktoria Waszczenko. Now we continue with the double degree program in cooperation with Grenoble École de Management, and we start with Mr. Ivan Kondratenko. Another double degree program in cooperation with Katolika Lisbon School of Business and Economics, Ms. Maryna Kondratenko. Mr. Sarat Chandra Kopolu. Now we move to another program, Master in Management, Specialization Management in Virtual Environment, Ms. Paulina Bedyńska. Ms. Lizawieta Bejnar. Mr. Kevin Blasiak. Miss Natalia Figas. Mr. Filip Grudzewski. Mr. Borys Maruszczak. Miss Catherine Sternowska. Mr. Bartosz Świeboda. Mr. Danilo Tkaczenko. Mr. Maximilian Tranvan. Mr. Michał Zakrzewski. Now we continue with the full-time mastery management program. Ms. Paulina Branka. Mr. Henning Brüggemann. Mr. Raghuram Chinnaswamy Sirivasan. Mr. Matthew Creton. Miss Maria Dracz. Miss Agalia Elaya Perumal. Mr. Ahmad Frenzel. Miss Stephanie Iskra. Miss Maja Jarzębowska. Mr. Andriy Chudiakow. Mr. Yevgen Kornilov. Miss Olesia Kwasnecka. Mr. Jan Kwapiński. Miss Ludmila Kryliuk. Mr. Konrad Łuszczewski. Miss Paola Mainella. Mr. Miłosz Matejaszczyk. Mr. Damian Olszewski. Miss Katarzyna Pilch. Mr. Nikolas Piotrowicz. Mr. Paweł Purwin. Miss Katarzyna Siewruk. Miss Dominika Sklosz. Mr. Mateusz Stamirowski. Mr. Patryk Szufnarowski. Mr. Jarosław Śliwka. Mr. Alekiej Jakubowicz. Miss Ruslana Zazimko. Now we continue with the part-time Master in Management program, and we start with Miss Sertak Aktikmen Magda. Mr. Abu Zafar Fazel Arabby. Miss Svitlana Gont. Miss Joanna Jachimczyk. Miss Julia Konopka. Mr. Szymon Lach. Miss Oksana Mamokina. Mr. Jakub Niklas. Miss Agnieszka Pełka. Miss Klaudia Poczman. Miss Paulina Skrzypek. Mr. Oleksiej Stukanow. Mr. Ivan Unda. Mr. Mikołaj Zieliński. Now we will move to the master program in finance and accounting, but before we actually present the diplomas, there will be a short speech delivered by a representative of Citibank, who is responsible for the cooperation between Kozminski University and Citibank within the international banking specialization at our university. Ms. Ewa Piasecka-Szalaj, who is the EMEA AML Warsaw head in Citibank. The floor is yours.
So, hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm very pleased, happy and honored to have a chance to speak to you today. I'm pleased because 3 years ago, thinking about starting cooperation and deliver international banking AML track at Kozminski Business School was very low, have a very low level of probability. So making analogy to the opening speech, I'm today most like black swan. However, after these 2 years, I can say that we succeeded, and also some of you who attended the specialization, apart for getting a solid knowledge from finance, you are also well equipped with theoretical and practical knowledge from AML, anti-money laundering subject, from compliance perspective and financial crime. I'm very honored because delivering the specialization at the top-rated university, very well recognized for the quality of its program, is an honorable thing. And also, I deliver the specialization together with my colleagues from Citi, which are best-in-class experts in the field. So shortly, I wish you a very successful career in your future steps, and also I will be also honored to welcome you in the Citibank if you decided and plan to start your career there. Thank you very much.
So now we will present the diplomas for the Master in Finance and Accounting students, and we start with Mr. Sebastian Bock. Mr. Marvin de los Santos. Mr. Roman Demchenko. Mr. Adrian Jaworski. Ms. Kamila Kamińska. Mr. Konrad Kamiński. Mr. Piotr Łacisz. Mr. Marco Maracu. Miss Anastazja Orlowa. Miss Natalia Pererwa. Miss Żaneta Podogrodzka. Mr. Mateusz Przysłucha. Mr. Adrian Sibik. Mr. Maxim Sycz. Miss Anna Zych. Mr. Oleksiy Zymin. Now, Director will award our partners from Citibank with certificates of recognition. We start with Ms. Ewa Piasecka-Szalaj, EMEA AML Warsaw Hub Head. Mr. Karol Wojtczak, EMEA AML Transaction Monitoring Standards and Trainings Head. Mr. Bartosz Robak, AML Senior Manager. Ms. Agata Krawczyk, Senior Compliance Officer at Global Financial Crime Compliance Training. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the bachelor diplomas, and we start with the bachelor program that is run together with Duale Hochschule Baden-Württemberg. Before we actually present the diplomas, there will be a short speech delivered by the director of the program at Duale Hochschule, Professor Martin Kornmeier.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone, and if your breath to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times, they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call, don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who is stalled. There's the battle outside raging, it'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times, they are changing. Dear Rector, dear Vice Rectors, dear Dean of Kozminski International Business School, Her Excellency, Ambassador of Argentina, Ms. Salas, dear graduates, dear alumni, dear parents, dear grandparents, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy that you gave me the opportunity to say some words at the occasion of your graduation ceremony. Probably you've recognized the author of these lyrics. It's our this year's Nobel Prize winner in literature, Bob Dylan. And yes, he is right. Although this song was written in the 1960s, the times they are changing. And nowadays, the times they even become more unpredictable. You mentioned the black swan. The times they become more uncertain, more difficult to grasp, difficult to understand, even risky sometimes. Despite the fact that nowadays, in times of globalization, you all know this keyword, this catchword, we can travel the world, we can see the world, we can talk to the world within seconds, minutes, or days. What in former times took days, weeks, or even months, we somehow feel that there's something going on in the world, something which to some extent contradicts globalization, the world of openness. And if you look at some countries, you mentioned Donald Trump and the new elected presidents, you may understand what I'm thinking of. People don't like uncertainty. People want to understand the world around them, which in fact makes sense. But what happens right now is that there's a trend towards cocooning, a new trend towards regionalization, protectionism. Instead of building bridges, we slowly but surely start to rebuild walls. What a pity. In order to solve this phenomenon, we will not need more treaties. What we need is more trust. And in order to trust, to build trust, we need relationships, we need relations. And that was one of the main reasons why in 2011, we, Kozminski University and Mannheim, we started this exciting double degree bachelor program with professional placement, as you call it, which allows young students to spend at least half of their studies abroad together with other students, and at least one internship or even more that they spend in several countries around the world, to work in different places, to learn and to practice intercultural openness, intercultural competence throughout their studies. Seeing is believing, practice is believing. And so I would like to thank first of all the graduates in our program that 3 years ago you decided to go for this program, which was not always easy. And I hope and I'm sure that you've learned your lessons well, but I also would like to congratulate all of you graduates of Kozminski University. You've made it. This is in fact a true moment to celebrate, but at the same time an important caesura as well. The future lies in your hands, in your responsibility. I wish you all the best for your future career. I wish you the ability and the perseverance to infect as many people as possible with your intercultural and with your open mindset. That will be an essential part for the future of us all. Come, mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, because the times, they are changing. Thank you.
Now we present the diplomas. Mr. Piotr Drągowski. Miss Brenda Espada. Miss Julia Szudlo. Now we continue with the double degree program in cooperation with Catch Business School. Mr. Taras Berbeka. Miss Lucy Born. Mr. Loic Eirol. Miss Lilia Hildina. Mr. Serhi Gryb. Miss Ekaterina Keda. Mr. Ostap Chomiak-Dedyshin, Miss Anastasia Mala, Miss Ekaterina Martyniuk, Miss Maud Menard, Mr. Jarosław Romanynec, Now we continue with the Bachelor in Management, Mr. Maxim Andrianov, Mr. Jan Andrzejczak, Miss Margaryta Antoniuk, Miss Anna Bobrowska, Miss Nicoletta Borkowska, Mr. Baharat Dingrang, Miss Kaciaryna Dzmitruk, Miss Amira Elili, Miss Alina Furman. Mr. George Gikoszwili. Mr. Dominik Jasiński. Miss Wiktoria Kania. Miss Justyna Kobielska. Mr. Mikita Kowalski. Mr. Artyom Kożuchywski. Miss Malwina Kozieł. Miss Wiktoria Krupelnycka. Miss Waleria Kryweckaja. Miss Krystyna Kurdziukowa. Mr. Michał Leszko. Miss Maria Manojlo. Miss Iryna Mariusik. Mr. Szymon Muzia. Mr. Maksym Nedylski. Mr. Jaucheni Nowik. Mr. Alekiej Rawiaka. Mr. Georgi Romelashvili. Mr. Volodymyr Sklonczak. Mr. Karol Stajszczak. Miss Anastazja Sywak. Miss Sabina Thomas. Miss Ilona Cychanczuk. Miss Aleksandra Turowska. Miss Patricia Wojtyla. Miss Kateryna Jakuszewa. Ms. Swietlana Jalowenko. Now we move to the last program that we have for today, that is the Bachelor Program in Finance and Accounting, and we start with Mr. Nikita Batsenko. Ms. Polina Bondarenko. Mr. Oleksandr Czub. Ms. Malwa Kuszkowska. Mr. Berkan Dogan. Mr. Dmytro Gryczaniuk. Mr. Andriy Gawryliuk. Mr. Mykola Koman. Mr. Adam Mikołajczyk. Ms. Jelizawieta Nemczykowa. Ms. Maria Oczakowska. Mr. Kyryl Piatrowicz. Miss Diana Szarkun. Miss Sara Szostak. And last but not least, Mr. Aleksandr Wowk. We have made it. Now it's time for our student representative, Miss Julia Kawalenka, to address the graduates.
Dear class of 2016, friends, families, faculty members, my name is Julia. I'm a second-year master student, and by standing here today in front of you, I feel honored to represent the current students of Kozminski. As there are so many familiar faces among graduates with whom I have spent quite a lot of time myself, I also believe I may say just a few words on their behalf and thank all the professors and everyone in this school who have not only been teaching us academic disciplines, but also been giving us life lessons. Those who made us question our principles, our beliefs, those who highlighted the things which are and which shall be of true importance in this life. Because the world is changing incredibly fast right now, and regrettably not for its best. Displays of deplorable behavior which not that much time ago were unimaginable and unacceptable in international environment is now becoming a norm. A norm in politics, global economy, personal relationships. There are deep reasons for that, of course, which shall not be a part of my speech today. I just want to say that the world is challenging us every day with greater power. And turning to you, the graduates today, I would like to remind you that when politics get nasty and economic challenges getting way too big, it is actually us who acquire responsibility. It is the university, the institution in the first place, which is meant to remind us of our deeper, more human responsibilities and to urge us to do creative, innovative work, to find new policies and new cures for the world challenges. But at the end of the day, it is us, the students and hence the graduates, who first of all shall be effective as thinkers, be a force for good, always hold on to our normative goals, but then do our positive analysis about the world with relentless honesty on a daily basis. As one of our professors once told us, guys, be proactive. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And no matter how posh it may sound right now, as time passes, I realize how much he was right. Because our time in life is limited, for better or for worse. So don't allow yourself such a luxury of wasting it. Don't be afraid of saying yes to the unknown. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. However, try to avoid the biggest and foolish mistake you can ever make, such as comparing yourself to others. Be trying to be someone you're not, trying to live somebody else's life because it may seem more attractive from one point. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room has our own way, unique one. And as a pragmatic, I know that there are very few things in life one can be sure about. One of those things, if not the only one in fact, is you yourself. So just learn how to hear and more importantly how to listen to your heart and soul. Because they always know the right answers, just let them talk to you. However, be careful what you desire for, because inevitably what we think we become. So watch your thoughts quite carefully every day. The ultimate goals we said actually at our young age, are important if not crucial. And your goals, of course, for you to choose. But let me appeal to you that we are 7.5 billion people sharing one small planet. Just be responsible and live your life with integrity, because the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but actually by those who watch them without doing anything about it. On a final note, and on behalf of current Kozminski students, I would like to congratulate you on this beautiful day, and of course wish you all the success in your professional career, as I believe majority of you desire right now, having left this place. After all, it's a business school. But more than that, I would like to wish you success in your private lives, because success in your career, no matter how big or great it is, without a family, without people who support you, is worthless. Thank you, and all the best of luck to you all.
Now it's time for the representative of the graduates to say a few words. So let me invite Mr. Kamil Kuklis, one of our graduates. Mr. Kuklis has completed a double degree program with Katolika Lisbon, and he has been awarded 2 diplomas. Am I right? Yeah.
Hello everyone. I'm the last speaker, so don't worry. Faculty, staff members, friends, parents, aunts and uncles who weren't supposed to come but showed up anyway. We made it. Today we are graduating from Kozminski University. That's a big deal. And I think we should not only celebrate it, but capture this moment. And you know how we do it these days, with a selfie. So, by the way, did you know that many people are or more people are dying from taking selfies than shark attacks? Crazy world. In the ranking of epic fails, it's right behind shopping on Black Friday and taking a bubble bath with your favorite hairdryer. But today, I don't want to talk about the stupid risk. No. Today, I want to talk about this kind of risk which makes us uncomfortable. This kind of risk which makes you fear to lose the things you've earned. I'm talking about this little guy inside of us who's constantly asking, what if? Risk is often described as jumping out of a plane and building your wings on the way down. And while preparing my speech, that made me thinking, isn't every aspect of our lives somehow connected to risk? Isn't the sheer fact of being here today based on a countless number of risky decisions from our past? I mean, look at all the people around you who traveled hundreds of kilometers, did tons of paperwork with no Polish language skills, just to be able to build a spaghetti tower with Dr. Gutkova in the very first lesson. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. At Kozminski, I understood that on the path to a certain goal, risk is and should be our constant companion, because it knows all the shortcuts to get there. The only problem is, it carries things like failure, rejection, and embarrassment in its backpack, making it so unattractive to travel with it. During these 2 years, here at Kozminski, we experienced all kinds of situations, showing that risk is all around us, reaching from the failed exams and projects up to serious illness and even death of our fellow students. But Kozminski taught me a very valuable lesson. You don't need to go this way alone. There is always someone having your back. Starting from day one, it felt like a small family you can always count on, encouraging things like cooperation, development of personal skills, and creativity, of course. And now, because we took this risk and joined Kozminski all together, we will definitely miss certain things over time here. Just remember this one. The radiant smile of our clockroom lady in the morning. The beautiful sound of falling MacBooks literally in every lesson. Or even the comforting voice from the kitchen at Colloquium yelling, Pomidorova! Besides, we also learned a lot. Now, we don't just come up with an idea, no. We think out of the box. We create paradigm shifts and disrupt industries. Or before choosing one yogurt after another in the supermarket, we perform the necessary SWOT analysis and study the brand communication to be sure that we are the target customer. During our studies, we understood quite fast that when we reach the limits of our core competencies, outsourcing is an essential thing, meaning find the smartest students from your class and leverage his human capital. But sometimes this wasn't such an easy task, and due to very high opportunity costs in form of a late night pub crawl, we discovered the tremendous synergy effects of Red Bull to meet our schedule. Talking about party, everybody knows that our female friends here don't simply put on any dress. Pfft, no. Before going out, they rather develop a detailed go-to-market strategy, and after heavy investment in their value proposition, they step into the competitive arena. On the other hand, the strong male brand prefers a much simpler business model, based on a direct marketing strategy, expecting instant return on investment, with slogans like, "Do you want to see my little USP?" frequently followed by a painful rejection with no time for an exit strategy. Of course, such activities left marks on our balance sheets, showing clear deficit after the first weekend of the month. But that's no problem, because as one of our professors used to say, money now is money now. We knew that our home creditor will always support us. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I guess what I try to say is, besides all the knowledge we've gained, the real value lies in the people we've met here at Kozminski University. Because as the author Simon Sinek says, you don't understand business if you don't understand people. That's why I say, let's jump out of this plane. With all the things we've learned, with all the amazing people we've met, and try to figure out how to build these freaking wings. Because the biggest risk in life is not to take any risk. Thank you. But as our favorite management personality, Steve Jobs, used to say, there is one more thing. According to the university tradition, the position of our graduation cap tassels, these little thingies, indicates whether we are graduates or not. Now, as we received our diplomas, it is time to switch the tassel from the right, your right side, to your left. Everybody done? Congratulations, we are now officially graduates from Kozminski University.
I want to disappoint you, but Mr. Kuklis was not the last speaker. Okay. Now I would like to invite Ms. Joanna Piechocka from the Career Development and Alumni Relation Office, and she will address you, the graduates. Joanna, the floor is yours.
Your Magnificence, respected principals, guests, and dear Kozminski University alumni. Sorry, I'm the last speaker. Your paths have crossed Kozminski University at some point of your lives, and now, along with thousands of other graduates, you have become a part of a great family of Kozminski University alumni. As a representative of the Career Development and Alumni Relation Office, I have been honored to welcome you to this community. Our mission is support you and your careers. Maybe you have asked yourself a question, what can we do together after I finish my studies? As graduates of Kozminski University, you are members of the Kozminski Alumni Club. The club provides you with an opportunity of establishing new business relationships, and what seems to be even more important, stay in touch with our university. We organize inspirational meetings with people from the business world, where each of the meetings is preceded with a networking part. What is more, at least twice during an academic year, the meetings are conducted in English, and we hope that we are also going to see you at one of those. What we can recommend you to do just now is to sign up for your alumni card. The card allows you to participate in Kozminski University trainings and academic programs on preferential conditions. It also gives you a possibility to use Kozminski University library and take advantage of numerous discounts offered by partners companies. Companies that quite often are companies of our alumni. You will find more information about the way of obtaining the card in a leaflets that are displayed on a table next the door. You will see them when you are going to be leaving the ceremony. As the Kozminski University alumni, you can also take advantage of our career counseling if you are thinking of changing your career path or just need some support in searching for a job. To learn more and keep updated, please visit Kozminski University website, bookmark alumni, and follow our newsletters. Staying in touch will be possible only if we have your current data, so if you change your email, please let us know about it. As a career development and alumni relation office, we would like to adjust the offer to your individual needs as much as it's possible, but to do that we need to be in touch with you. Last but not least, your careers are important for us, so we monitor them in the Kozminski University Alumni Career Tracking Survey. Don't be surprised when you get an invitation to fill out one of those. Your opinion is extremely important to us, especially now when you are going to confront your skills and knowledge acquired during the studies with practical experience at various organizations and institutions. I believe that we can rely on you and your engagement. I wish you jobs that make you fulfilled, businesses that are always successful, and great people around you to share it with. We hope you are going to remember about Kozminski and be sure that Kozminski is not going to forget about you. Thank you.
The last part of our ceremony will be less formal, and now we will have the chance to listen to the performance of our choir.
Jest bardzo, bardzo, bardzo cicho. Słońce rozpala nagie ciała. Morze i niebo ostro lśni. Dobrze mi, ach, jak dobrze mi. Jem słodkie, słodkie winogrona. Ty śpisz w moich ramionach. Morze i niebo ostro lśni. Dobrze mi, ach, jak dobrze mi. Cykady na cykladach. Cykady na cykladach. W nocy, gdy gwiazdy spadają, a dyskoteka gra. Przez bardzo, bardzo krótką chwilę, gdy kolor widzę rój motyli. Stopy mam takie gorące, w gorących ustach słońce. Jem słodkie, słodkie winogrona. Ty śpisz w moich ramionach. Morze i niebo ostro lśni. Dobrze mi, ach, jak dobrze mi. Cykady na cykladach. Cykady na cykladach. W nocy, gdy gwiazdy spadają, a dyskoteka gra. Cykady na cykladach. Cykady na cykladach. W nocy, gdy gwiazdy spadają, a dyskoteka gra.
please stand up.
I've got some duties more. The first one I would like to say those singers are from Warsaw Musician University, because Marcin said that it's not our, they are hired. But congratulations especially to the director, who's absolutely incredible. My first duty is to officially close the ceremony. I apologize that we a little bit late, behind the time, but I hope that my next information that I would like to invite you to some small reception just after. But before, we have to take a picture. So it's some kind of challenge. So please listen the photographer, because in this moment he's the main director and he decided what we should to do, including the throwing up the billets. Yeah. Okay, so it means that officially our ceremony was closed, and please bring out the banner, our university flag. So thank you, and now please tell us what we should. Proszę nam powiedzieć, co mamy robić. He stand here, and everybody has to gather as close as possible.
Yeah, let's get as close as possible because there are many of us, so we need to be close.